guys, we are back in South Dakota. It is November 23rd, 2024, and we are back hunting mule deer here. We had a short stint last weekend. We hunted all day Saturday and then morning on Sunday. Ended up passing up a buck I was interested in. I can't say he was a really big buck, but he's cool. Super wide. But main frame 3x3. So this weekend Jalen and I are back out being a couple weekend warriors again. Jalen's on the other side here, not too far away, but he can see a little more country than I can. We decided to put me up over here just in case we see one and I can't notify him that there's a big one before it goes into the trees, because I'm more looking at some sparsely timbered side hills that are a little closer to us. But it doesn't really matter right now anyway, because the fog is pretty heavy in here. I'll continue to glass these closer parts to me and just hope something walks through it.
No deer showed up, so I'm kind of just making my way back towards where we parked, and so I can meet up with Nick. I'm guessing we'll come up with a plan here, figure out what we should do for the evening. But I don't know, that's kind of frustrating, I guess, to say the least. So hopefully we can find some deer again.
All right, well, we're gonna head in for a little midday walk. As you can see, we're down in the grasslands. The mountains didn't do us very well this morning, but that was a new area. Last weekend we glassed some area a little ways that way, and we did see some deer. This is maybe a little bit more secluded from the roads, so we're kind of going with the flow. We're just gonna go back in there, kind of do what we did when back in the old days, when we just kind of walked around with our bows, and it seemed like we stumbled across mule deer all the time. So worth a try, but we're gonna work our way in. Winds like this, so it's not ideal. We might try to stay kind of south and then get on the west side of this stuff, kind of loop up and then loop our way back into the wind. And it'll kind of depend how good this works for where we're going tonight. We're either gonna go someplace close here, if we're really looping a long ways back in there and into deer. If we're not into deer, we'll probably cut it short and then go back to where we were day one and try to find something there. So this wind's a little cold though, so we're gonna get moving to warm up. Well, that was quick. I was just turning the tracker on Onyx, about 500-600 yards away from the pickup, and I just hear Jalen, right here, hopping in front of us. Good start, baby, good start. Let's go see if a buck's in there. Buck in the doe. So I've seen 3 deer so far on this walk, and we're not very far, so that's good. Well, more action. Walked another couple hundred yards. We walked up on this hill to glass, and as soon as we got up here, Jalen goes, "This is just have deer written all over it or what?" Nice little creek bottom, and sure enough, Jalen spotted some deer less than 400 yards away. I can tell there's at least 2, might be a little group. Have a steep little creek, so we gotta just make sure there's not a buck with them. This is really good, really cool. Just need bigger cover hunt if a big one got up.
If you're gonna do that, you might as well buckle one.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what nightmares are made of right there. Freaking pulling up and like. Got her all the way down. You're kidding me.
Just to tell her on.
You're kidding me. I can't believe it was only those two. So we saw every deer. We saw the doe and two fawns. And doe and fawn here before we moved in. I thought we'd have something else.
Especially when that's what normally happens. You're like, oh, there's only 3, and then all of a sudden 6 get up.
Yeah, exactly. What the heck?
Talk about a perfect bottom.
Oh man, no kidding. Tree here. Oh man.
Some tall sage mixed with some short sage.
Yeah, exactly. Cow dang, dude. I thought there'd be a couple more in here. I thought there'd be a fork with one of these groups. I just figured there'd be a buck in here, but what the heck? That's just the way it goes, I guess. Shoot. On to the next one, right? Down in there.
Actually, they're like just they're just staying put right now.
Okay.
Watch out for cactus. I don't saddle. Go ahead.
Alright, so we're walking over. Things are getting a little hectic. We spooked a couple fawns, not important. I don't think Jalen got footage of it, but we had a doe at the bottom of the drainage kind of start trotting, and we're like, what the heck? What would it be? Math guy perpendicular to us.
Yeah.
And it was like not spooked. And so Jalen kept looking, and I was like, okay, good. I'm gonna keep going. And we just finally were like, it must be nothing. Well, we got to this point, and sure enough, I look down, I see more deer. And one was a buck. It's just too windy, and we're shaking too bad, so we could tell it went up. It was definitely the best buck we've seen today. So we got the spine scope out, and if we get another look at him, we'll be able to tell a little better with the spotting scope. So we're gonna just walk up here and see what we can see. You come down here again and turn around. You know, another reason I really want to get one on this stock is it's just been so much fun. It's like, it'd be a great way to cap it off. Well, we've been noticing that a lot of the deer we've been seeing from about their elbow down has been muddy, and we finally found the water source they've been using. You can see it's kind of muddy on the outsides. A couple open places in the ice there for them to drink, so makes sense why there's a lot of deer around here. But we're looping around, getting the wind in our favor finally, and hopefully get a better look at that buck.
Nick, go wrestle that.
That's one thing I don't like to mess with is badgers. watching, and then if you wouldn't think he'd be taking her too far, so he'll either loop back or go into that nearest canyon. You would think kind of makes the decision easy if we should go check out over there first, though. I think we're just gonna keep going here, but we gotta also keep our eyes peeled because it could have easily been a different buck, so, or there could be a buck we haven't seen down in here still with how many deer we're seeing. So stay tuned. Hopefully it gets exciting. Yep, they're coming back. I can see his antlers. I mean, you see him? If I can see his antlers, he's gotta be a shooter from here. I mean, it is so far away. I know. Is he still there? Oh, smokes. What?
I think he's down to the right of the does.
Yeah, I think I got him in here. He's walking down in that bottom. I think it's a shooter.
Is he coming at us right now?
Yep. Maybe a shooter, I don't know. So I'm just getting some all-in footage of him. He's a long ways away, so I'm probably gonna have to zoom up on here afterwards, see if I can possibly get a look at how good he is. It's just, I have this on 40 power, and it's just so tough to tell. So tough to tell. So hard to tell in this thing. It's so hard to tell. I mean, all you can really see is the frame. I don't know, it's tough, man. You tell me how you're supposed to figure it out from that. Oh, zoomed in. He's definitely worth getting a closer look at. We better get moving then. Yeah, that's true. Oh my goodness, there's a pickup right above him. This guy's a freaking sprinter, man. I think the buck is in front of these two. I can't find him yet, but he was way in front of him. Yeah, it's kind of turned into a cluster or something down here. With the hunter coming up over the hill, we got deer running everywhere. So we're gonna move in a little closer, see what happens. Well, guys, we got back to the pickup. We're just kind of didn't want to mess around, do a closing interview. Just kind of wanted to get back because we are planning to go in there tomorrow. I think there's 2 bucks that I would shoot, might only be one. It's really tough to tell. There's a lot of deer running everywhere. I think with all the deer around there, those bucks are gonna hang around. There's even a possibility of something happening like Jalen's in Idaho where a bigger one moves in. I think if we got in here really early, there's a good chance we could take a good inventory of what's in here instead of just coming in here midday and walk around like we did today, which was great because we found out there's a bunch of deer in here. So kind of scratched off our plan B and think we're gonna do this tomorrow since, like I said, there's so many deer. So I don't know what the wind is, don't know any of that. We are just going here. I think it's supposed to be pretty calm, but it's our final day, so see if we can get it done. I don't know what my standards are. It's gonna be, I know when I see it, so stick around for tomorrow because I have a feeling it's gonna be a really fun day. Well guys, we got a deer with my frickin' pickup. That's frustrating. Yeah.
It sucks, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, we're okay. So, no airbags enough. But the problem is going to be getting that away from the tire.
I think I almost have it. So it's just down here a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's metal or plastic down there or a piece that we can just pull out.
Shoot.
You know?
There's a buck too, guys. Whitetail. God dang it.
Might be able to just cut some of that out.
We better get one tomorrow after all this. God dang.